Callie and welcome to GabbyReads, and this is my July TBR. If you're new here, hello, welcome. I play a TBR game every month. I just roll a dice, move a little 3D printed cat and pick a book according to whichever prompt I land on. I have got a link in the description for the first time I played the game, and there's a playlist on my channel, if I've set it up correctly, where I keep all of my TBR games together. Normally I would start my video by saying how I got on with my last month's TBR. However, in my infinite wisdom, I did not keep a note of it. I don't know. I don't know how many of the books I was meant to read I read, but I know I didn't read all of them. Sorry, again, coughing fit. That will just, if there's any weird edits, it's because I had to cough. So, on to the rules. It is TBR time for July. I am excited. I am nervous. So, rule number 1 is a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Green. Please ignore the sunburn on my arms. I went outside. And my factor 50 did not protect me. That is a net, please focus, yep, NetGalley book. Rule number 1 was a green prompt and it was a NetGalley book. I have at this stage in the year 20 unread books on NetGalley. So I was kind of thinking, do I pick one that's late or do I try and keep up from now onwards? And I'm going to try and keep up from now onwards, and I am going to be reading The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This book comes out on the 11th of July. It is a cozy cottagecore book, or at least promises to be, about a librarian. It is a low stakes cozy fantasy, which is what my heart wants. And I loved Legends and Lattes, that duology, which I hope is continuing into a full series. I just really want cozy, kind of low stakes books. I am very excited. Rule number 2 is 2, 1, 2, and that is, we'll call it blue. A seasonal, are you gonna? Seasonal read. Rule number 2 was blue, and that was a seasonal read. How could I not pick the most seasonal reads of summer by Ali Smith? I have read the last 3 books. This is the final book in the seasonal quartet. And I'm not going to lie and say that I know exactly what they're about before I read them, because I never do. The blurb, there is a wasp at my window. I hope it doesn't come in. I am allergic to wasps and I will react accordingly. But I know this book will be about change, and it will have either dual timelines or dual perspectives, and it will be gloriously written. I will fall in love with characters and I will cry, and there will be reference to an artist. I know that will happen because it's happened in the other 4. I'm very excited to, well, I'm very excited to end the collection, but I'm also kind of very sad because I just really the writing's exquisite. It's so gorgeous, and I love a kind of dreamy delivery of a book. Rule number 3 is gone off, but it was 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, another 11. Green. Non-fiction. Rule number 3 was green, and it was non-fiction. So I'm going to go with an audiobook which is called Consumed by Aja Barber. This is about colonialism, climate change and consumerism. It came to me highly recommended and I'm really looking forward to it. Rule number 4, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. A free pick. And rule number 5, maybe. 6. That takes me to the end. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. Short and
Number
sweet.
4 was a free pick, and this was the last roll because the last roll 5 took me to the final square, which is the end. So no books to be chosen there. And my free pick, I'm going with Akata Witch by Neddy Okarafor. I have wanted to read this book since October last year. I've wanted to read it before, but I bought it in October last year and I never got around to reading it. So I'm going to read it this month. I've heard great things. Like with every book I get recommended to me is very much highly recommended. This book is about a woman called Sunny who realizes that they have magical powers and they are almost, I think, hired or coerced into tracking down a dangerous criminal using their magic. The only downside is that the criminal is a serial killer who possibly has stronger powers than they do. So I'm very intrigued and very excited by this one. This is not the end of my TBR though. The game was very kind to me because it knew that I'm starting a course at work on the 5th or 4th of July. So the game was kind. It was like, hey, you won't have as much reading time as you usually do. I'm going to give you some fewer books than usual. But I do have a bunch of readathons and reading goals that I want to prioritise. So let's go on to those. First up is the diverse baseline, which is prioritising reading BIPOC authors. And there are 3 prompts this month, which are a disabled author. For that prompt, I'm going to be using Akata Witch, which is already on my main TBR. A neurodivergent author, I'm going to be reading The Book Eaters by Sunyi Dean. I have heard mixed reviews on this one, either glowing or raging. So I'm very intrigued to find out where I fall in that spectrum. And the final prompt for this reading challenge is a book that has real people on the cover. I struggled with this one. I actually don't have a lot of books in general that don't have, like, at least my understanding of this was real people as opposed to drawings of people, like photos of people. So I've gone with Natural Beauty, which kind of feels a bit like a cheat. It's by Ling Ling Huang. One of my favorite kind of topics for a book, somewhat niche perhaps, is a book that deals with the wellness and beauty industry, but in a very chaotic, creepy, sinister way, like Rouge, like Youth Juice and Natural Beauty. I feel in my bones is going to end up sitting with those two, just taking pride of place. I'm very excited about this. It is about a woman who ends up working in a very high-end health and wellness beauty shop in New York, and sinister things are afoot. I know no more than that. I think I will love it. It's a person on the cover as opposed to is it a drawing? I'm counting this as a person. This counts. For my Kindle crush, I'm going to put on Lipstick and Camera Clicks. This is by DJ Murphy, and I have seen this doing the rounds on Bookstagram, getting some rave reviews, and it just sounds like a nice romance, and it's summer. Why would I not want a nice romance in summer? So I'm going to be reading this. And for Read Christie, we are now on to the 1940s and 50s, and I am delighted to be reading Mousetrap. Arguably, I'm meant to be reading a book, like a novel, but I'm going to read a play because that's what I want to do. This play came out in 1952. I saw it last year. It was fantastic. I am very excited to read it. Kayla's buzzword I struggled with. I've struggled all year trying to get prompts. It's almost like 2 different people have 2 different sets of reading goals for a year. The buzzword this month is units of measurement. And I've had to stretch this quite a bit, and I know this book doesn't really fit, but I'm going with it because it's all I've got. I'm going with No Time Like the Past by Jodie Taylor. Time is a kind of unit of measurement, broadly speaking. I don't remember what this book is about, but it is part of the Chronicles of St. Mary's series, which I have either loved or hated. Jury's still out whether I'm going to continue with the series, but I have 2 more books in it, so I really probably will finish those. This is about an organisation who travel through time to make sure that certain events happen. Like I say, I alternate between loving the series and hating it, so I really am anxious about having this on my TBR, but it's an audiobook, and if I don't love it, do you know what? I'll just put it on while I'm doing the dishes. Or, no, I hate doing dishes. I'll put it on while I'm doing something I enjoy, like yoga or going for a walk, something like that. It can be a commuting read. And my final sort of reading challenge goal for the month comes in the form of SummerWeen, because I hate summer. I hate it. I'm miserable in the summer. It's too hot. I mean, today is the coldest it's been in ages. I don't remember what it feels like to be cold, and I'm Scottish. It is currently 14 degrees. Yesterday was 23. I've got sunburn from, you can't really see it and it feels like I'm making it up. I've got sunburn from being outside, just going from the car to like a cafe, and I was wearing factor 50 and I burned, and I'm very upset about it because it's very sore. But SummerWeen is just a celebration of like Halloweeny kind of books, and I like to think of it as a giant middle finger to summer because I hate summer. The whole bingo board for SummerWeen, and I'll pop the bingo board up here and link the announcement video in the description too. If you want to join in, do. It sounds so fun. I have four books that I really want to read for this SummerWeen fun week. First book is a book with 5 words in the title. You would not believe, or maybe you would, the amount of times I had books with 6 words in the title. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm going with The Witches of Moonshine Manor by Bianca Maurice. This is a delightful floppy paperback, and it is about 5 octogenarian witches who kind of find themselves up against an angry mob and a bunch of other trials that they are going to have to face. And I love an older protagonist. I love a little witchy tale. I have also heard that this is great fun. I've also heard really good things about this book. Again, it comes to me highly recommended, and I'm very excited about it. This is another book I planned to read in October. Did I get to it? No, but I'm getting to it now, and that's the main thing. Book number 2 is a thriller or a horror. So I'm going with Camp Damascus by Chuck Tingle. This takes place in a conversion camp where there kind of seems like there might be demons around. Things are gonna happen. I've never read anything by this author before. I'm very excited. I have heard good things about this too, even though I know that their previous books were like smutty books about chaotic things that I kind of might want to read because they sound bizarre. Next up is a book that takes place during summer. How could I not pick summer? The most summery book on my TBR. And the last one is a book that features the night sky on the cover. I'm going with Goblin by Josh Mallerman. Night sky, creepy house, creepy maze, probably creepy child. I'm excited. This is a collection of 6, I believe, short stories that are all going to be creepy, 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 and that's what I want. I have mentioned before, July is when I'm going to start kind of my reading time is going to be greatly reduced. And I don't think I'm going to be getting through nearly as many books as I have been so far this year. And yet, my TBR is massive. Okay, I think I can lift them. So I have 4 books not included here. They are either ebooks or audiobooks, and 12 physical books. I'm so excited to read all of these. I hope I can find the time. I'm sure I don't know, I'll try. I'm going to try my best. I'm so excited about all of these. The only one I'm not excited about for my TBR is my Kayla's Buzzword pick, but that's just because I've kind of been stung a bit by that series, but I'm not opposed to giving it a second go, or maybe I was going to say a final go. I have 2 books left in that series. I will finish them both and may not return to it. Let me know what your reading plans are for July, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!